What's up, guys? Welcome to AnTalk, the weekly comic conversation. I'm joined here today by my guest, Zach.
What's up?
We just saw the new movie, the new Western, The Magnificent Seven, directed by Antoine Fuqua and starring Denzel Washington. Chris Pratt has quite the cast. Also has Ethan Hawke and Vincent D'Onofrio. It's been a while since we've gotten a really good Western. We don't get a lot of them these days. Ever since the trailer for this movie dropped, I've actually been anticipating this movie quite a bit. For you, what did you think of The Magnificent Seven, and what did you expect going into it?
I really liked it. Thought it was a good Western. You know, had all the elements that a good Western has, and definitely a good cast. But even going in, like, I could tell it was going to be a pretty good movie just from the cast and the trailers that I saw. So
definitely, to me, the cast is a standout, and the characters, definitely, I like them all. I like a lot of the chemistry between them. So this movie starts off with this little town in the West, and it's been overtaken by the villain of this movie, Bart Bogue, and all his men. And they're really evil people. You can see right off the bat in the opening scenes that they do some pretty cruel things to the town and the townsfolk. And one of them, Emma, who is pretty much the female lead in this movie, she seeks Denzel Washington's character, Chisholm, who is a warrant officer or bounty hunter, if you will. And she seeks him out and, offers to hire him to get revenge or to drive, Bart Bogue and his men out of town. So he ends up taking the deal, obviously. Then he goes and rounds up the seven. So the seven, do you have a favorite?
it's hard to pick because they're all pretty cool. I think one of them that I enjoyed the most was Billy.
Oh, yeah, the knife expert.
Yeah.
He definitely had his moments. He definitely had his shine. They all really did. There's a couple great shootouts, action scenes in this movie, and it really does a good job of incorporating all these characters. But back to the characters, I also enjoyed them all. I'm still not sure if I have a favorite. I really like Vincent D'Onofrio's character. At first, I wasn't too sure about. He has a certain voice that he goes with, but it grew on me, I think, and I think in small doses it worked pretty well for his character. But who really surprised me in this movie was Ethan Hawke. He's known to be a good actor, but I didn't really expect much from him in this movie. He was almost like the third main character, kinda, the way they pushed his story a little bit, and his character a little bit deeper. And I also think Chris Pratt. I think Chris Pratt did a pretty good job. He obviously, being who he is, he kind of adds that comedic, that comic relief to it.
Yeah, he's pretty entertaining.
Yeah. And Denzel was obviously the lead, and I think he was the right choice for the lead in this movie.
For sure.
What do you think?
I totally agree. I thought he did a really good job, and I like how well he gets into character.
Yeah.
And he you really thought he was
He has such a presence on screen that when he's in front of a camera, it's really hard to not pay attention, especially when he's delivering dialogue and stuff like that. Other than that, overall, I think this movie, it was a really fun movie, a really fun Western. It was good to see Western. You said you grew up watching Western, so
yeah, I did.
We don't get them as much. Is it refreshing for you to see a Western, this day in 2016 that you enjoy, had fun with?
Yeah, definitely. I thought this Western was definitely up to par with older Westerns because those are the ones I grew up with. But yeah, it definitely holds up.
Yeah, I think so too, because is it the greatest movie? No. Is it on the level of Django where it's gonna be nominated for Oscars? Probably not. But how many of those Westerns from back in the day that everybody knows and loves won Oscars?
Right.
Probably could name them on just one hand. Really, I really enjoyed this movie. I love like all the Western tropes throughout this movie, you know, the shootouts, the suspense before shootouts, you know. Will they ride off into the sunset? You know, you'll have to go to the movie and see for yourself because we're not doing any spoilers in this. Is there anything you didn't enjoy about this movie?
I didn't really have any dislikes. I thought, you know, the length was long, but it didn't drag out at all for me. Like it was pretty entertaining for the whole showing. Yeah,
I don't have a lot of dislikes either. Like we said a minute ago, it's not like the greatest movie ever, but I mean, for what it was trying to be, what it was, I feel like it, you know, it succeeded. The movie doesn't get real deep into all these characters, but you know, when they get this team together, some of them, you know, are more forced onto the team than others, but I really don't think, for some this might be an issue, but for me it wasn't, because that's not what this movie was about. And I think going too much into these characters, taking too much time to get this team together would have hurt the movie. Like you said, it was a pretty long movie, but it didn't bother you, but it could have if it would have stretched out a lot more.
Yeah.
And sometimes you need movies to be stretched out more and breathe, but I don't think in this case it was as necessary, and it benefited from, you know, the way the story was told.
Yeah, I agree.
And I feel like the movie accomplished what it was going for. So, you know, any other thoughts? Any final thoughts?
I thought that they touched on each character's backgrounds like just enough to where like you got to kind of know the character without having to go too in depth.
Oh yeah, they didn't not go into the characters. They definitely gave you a little something from each one. Yeah, like I said, I don't really have any complaints about it.
Me either.
So, what would you rate it?
I'm gonna give this a 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go 8.5. I'm leaning towards 8.5 because it's hard for me to knock this movie. I had a lot of fun with it. I was anticipating it pretty much all summer. To me, it's almost like really the last summer movie of the year.
Yeah.
As far as like big summer movies go, because I feel like there was a lot of buzz for this for, you know, all summer, because ever since the trailer dropped.
Yeah.
In the end, I was satisfied, I would say. So yeah, that's our review of The Magnificent Seven. This has been AnTalk. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.
See ya.
See ya.